Hello, everybody. My name is Jim Farmer. I'm the festival director of Out on Film, Atlanta's LGBTQ film festival. We have some amazing films this year, including great shorts like we always have. One of our favorite programs is Pageants, Sisterhoods and Justice, which screens Monday, September 29th at 4:30 at the Midtown Arts Cinema. And we have some of the filmmakers from that program here to talk to us. I will let our filmmakers introduce themselves. Then we'll jump into some questions. We'll start with Larry.
Hi, everyone. My name is Larry Tung. I'm a filmmaker based in New York City, and I also teach video production at the Fashion Institute of Technology. I'm very happy to be part of Out on Film.
Great. Thank you.
Hi, I'm John Mark, based in Los Angeles, and that's me. I'm a filmmaker, also very excited to be a part of this festival, and I directed and produced Sex and Drag, which is a Sherry Vine story.
Tell us, for both of you, tell us a little bit more about your film, how long it took you to make, and where you are right now in your film festival.
For my film, Not Just Another Pageant, this is probably coming towards the end of the film festival cycle because it
Okay.
started actually I think the very festival that I was in September 2 years ago, I think,
Yeah.
at Palm Spring LGBT Film Festival.
Okay. John?
Yeah, we just kind of started our festival cycle. I think this is our second festival. Yeah.
That's great. That's exciting. Both of your docs feature such charismatic characters and subjects. This can you talk about your approach and finding your subjects and obviously having them having a comfort level with being there and being filmed and talking about themselves. I'll start with Larry again.
Okay, so I'll start. So, growing up, I'm always very interested in beauty pageants. I think I remember when I was in middle school, Taiwan, my home country, hosted a Miss Universe pageant, and that was a huge event in our country. So, ever since then, I became very interested in pageant. Um, so when I found out that there was going to be a Mr. Bear International pageant, I was really intrigued. And also, this has something to do with my last film, the film before this film. I made a film about uh, Asian bear culture. So this is sort of a continuation of my investigation into the gay bear world, and so, so this pageant is particularly for gay men who are quote unquote plus sized. So, growing up, I've always had a bit of a weight issue.
Mhm.
So, I was very happy to see a pageant like that.
Great. All right, John.
I mean the Sex and Drug is really driven by Sherry Vine. It's her story and it's a story that she's been wanting to tell. I had a working relationship with Sherry for I think about 7 years now. So we had sort of built a bit of trust long before we started filming, which was important because the film is really about like her sex life and her love life in the margins. So we'd had a lot of like conversation about the subject matter, which was her personal world, for years prior to actually filming the docupiece. So it kind of just all came together out of those conversations.
Did you, when you were both making your films, did you have did you have a designated running time you want to stick to, or did you just pretty much say, I'm gonna film this and edit it and just sort of see how it works out? We'll start with John with this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we started with, a really long day of talking heads, and I at that point I really had no idea what the runtime was going to be, and it was something that came together in post, and we both just wanted to hit a length that felt entertaining and compelling. We knew we weren't making a feature length piece. But in terms of like the runtime, we just kind of found it in post.
Okay. Larry.
Mhm. For me, I was targeting for about 15 to 20 minutes
Okay.
because I know that is kind of a sweet spot because I've been in enough film festivals to know that that's kind of a good length for a documentary short. And also, it was a multi-day event, but I think to be able to tell the story that I wanted to tell, 15 to 20 minutes was enough.
Yeah. Larry, I wanted to follow up with you. Can you sort of talk about the Gay Bear pageant and how important it is for the contestants in terms of what they want to get from this and in terms of self-esteem and really being able why do you think this is good for the contestants?
Well, a lot of the contestants kind of had the same struggle that I've had growing up. You know, they always have a bit of a weight issue, a bit of a self-esteem issue. So when
Yeah,
they came across this opportunity, they were really excited. And some of them came through their national pageant for Mr. Bear. For
yeah,
example, I think in the Philippines and in Thailand. In Austria and in Belgium, they had their own version of their Mr. Bear national pageant. So they came through that. And most of them talk about how the pageant really helped boost their self-esteem.
yeah.
One of the contestants said that, if I can do this, everyone can do this. I think that's really empowering.
Okay. John, how long now tell me again how long you've known Sherry and just tell me a little bit about your working relationship.
Yeah, Sherry and I met in 2020. I directed her variety show for Out TV, the Sherry Vine variety show. And we did 3 seasons of that together, which was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Great. I want to ask you both one more question. Um, can you talk about the importance of having queer themes in your work and telling these stories, particularly at a time where so much of our community is under attack? The drag community is under attack, the trans community is under attack. All of us, a lot of people want to erase this entirely. But having said that, why do you think it's so important to get your stories out there and really get people to see them and talking about
Okay, I'll start. I think it's so important to tell your own stories because if you don't, who will?
it?
And as you said, that these stories are undertold. So I kind of made it my career of telling, giving voice to people who don't have a voice. I've done a few films about Asian Americans. I've done films about transgender people. So I think to me, it is a way for me to engage in activism. I always joke about, me as a college professor, as an independent filmmaker, I don't really have money to give to charity, but through my work, I hope that I can advocate for people whose stories are undertold and who I want to educate the world about different kind of populations and give them a voice.
Okay, great. John?
Yeah, I mean, I think Larry said it really well. I think visibility is important. I remember, growing up in the 90s and trying to piece together what being gay and like what the lifestyle might look like from very few, movies and TV shows that had gay people. And so I think, despite the political climate and all the horrible things that are happening now, so it's nice after remembering the lack of visibility, seeing this sort of renaissance of different films and television shows, and even though we kind of got to dig for them sometimes and find them, but seeing all these different subcultures and all these different types of queerness that are being represented on camera and on film.
That's great. Thank you both so much. Thank you both so much for sharing your films with us. Thanks for talking to me. The program is Pageants, Sisterhoods, and Justice. It screens Monday, September 29th at 4:30 p.m. at the Midtown Arts Cinema. There's a brief streaming window. Both of these films are eligible for audience awards, so please watch them. Larry, John, thank you for bringing sex and drag and not just another pageant to us. The program also includes While We Still Have Time, Sisterhood, A Story of Strength, and Tempe and Barb. They're all five brilliant films. I'm really, really happy to screen those. Thank you all so much, and thank you for taking time with us today.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
This is probably going to be posted later today or tomorrow. I'll definitely know when it's up. And thanks again for your time and sharing your film with us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.